to Mayor and Council oral reports and comments, and I will start with Councilmember Gonzalez so he can ask his questions. Councilmember Gonzalez.
I just wanted to ask Jerry, that we appreciate all the projects of Colton Crossing and whatnot. I think it's an asset to our community. There was a lot of jobs that were created here, and also the other projects that we have ongoing. But firstly, we'd like to ask you to support us on getting that Washington off ramp going, and hopefully you get your board to support you. We'd appreciate your support of it. That's all. I'm just asking you to help us out. Okay. The other issue I'd like to ask, since the issue about the speed bumps that come up, I'd like to share something with you. It's funny, how all this started. Colton First has been initially started a few years back, and in the process, when they first started, it was a good group. Now it's all about power. They won 7 votes on the council, and to me, that's totally wrong. Hey, let me finish. Let me finish. And then
call a point of order on that.
I need the audience to quiet. Okay. I'm going to refer to the city attorney and have her comment.
Thank you. I just want to make clear that under the Brown Act, the purpose for council comments is to allow you to briefly raise issues, but there can't be a discussion on anything that wasn't on the agenda. So if there's going to be a discussion or a lengthy presentation, then it would be appropriate to agendize it for me.
With all due respect, my name was mentioned on speed bumps. I have a right to respond, and I'm asking you. See, they asked about me doing something wrong on the speed bump. Would you please give us a report? There was an investigation that took place. Give us the results of that investigation, please. Christina, would you please do that?
Yes. Yeah, and along those lines, the Brown Act does allow staff to briefly respond to questions from council. So if it's appropriate, Mayor Zamora, I would like to respond to that.
Please do.
If you could, myself and Councilwoman Olivas, that we appreciate it, because it's been on the papers and it needs to be addressed.
Right. Well, again, this is not a matter that would be appropriate for discussion by the council, but the Brown Act does allow staff to make a brief response in response to council questions. So with that, I will advise the council that an investigation was conducted into allegations concerning Councilmember Gonzalez and Councilmember Oliva. With respect to Councilmember Gonzalez, there was allegations made with respect to some speed humps that were installed on his street, and there were allegations made that those were done in violation of gift of public funds laws, in misappropriation of funds, and conflicts of interest. An investigation was completed, and the conclusion of that investigation was that the procedures allowed for speed humps was properly followed, and that there was no finding of any wrongdoing with respect to Councilmember Gonzalez with respect to the 3 allegations that I just mentioned: gift of public funds, misappropriation of funds, and conflict of interest. Similarly, with respect to Councilmember Oliva, the investigation concludes that there was no wrongful conduct or no conflict or favoritism provided to Councilmember Oliva with respect to those allegations. There was a utility pole that was removed that was adjacent to Councilmember Oliva's property. It's required that whenever a utility pole is removed, that any repairs be made to property that might be necessary. In this particular case, when the pole was removed, there was a gap left, and there were some blocks that were put in place to restore the property to the condition it would have been in absent the pole. The procedures, according to the investigation, were properly followed, and there's no conflict on the part of Councilmember Oliva. This report will be made available to the public. It will be redacted to protect the privacy of certain citizens who have some private information in the report, but the report is done, and as I said, it will be made available to the public.
Mayor, and I'd like to add, Mr. Ron Lores is a member of Colton First. Also, Christina, I'd like to ask to look at the possibility. I know this costs several $1,000s to have this investigation, to look at the possibility if they can be built for the investigation, since this was it was not true. Would you do that for us?
If that's the council's desire, we can review that issue.
Madam Mayor, may I comment?
I'm sorry. Unless the council agrees to allow you to comment. Public comment, yeah. Public comment is already closed.
We didn't go into this public.
Pardon?
The problem that I'm having with the whole thing, Madam
Mayor, I'd like to call
Wait a
point
minute.
of order.
We need to order. We need to order. I'm sorry,